So a new report just dropped and San Diego leads as home prices reach another all-time high in March. Now you're thinking March, this video where we're making it, check the date on this because it is a few months later, but the Case-Shiller Index, it does only drop a few months late, but it's one of the indicators that a lot of people do keep an eye on as they are looking at home prices. What are the trends? What's going on in the real estate market? The average U.S. home price rose 1.3% in March, following a 0.7% increase in February, and was up 6.5% over the past 12 months. That's for all of the U.S. But in San Diego, prices were up 2.2% in March after a 1.7% increase in February and over 11% in the past year. So this has been the same story over the past few years. Home prices have been rising here in San Diego. We've been at the top of the list a lot of these times when these reports come out. So why are San Diego home prices still continuing to rise in an elevated interest rate environment when right now we're seeing at least 7% interest rate? You might think, hey, maybe interest rates are a little bit high, the demand's a little bit lower, maybe there's more houses coming on the market. So why are home prices still rising so much here in San Diego? That's where I get into 4 reasons why home prices are still rising right here in San Diego. And as you're watching this, if you get some insight, if you like what we're seeing, just be sure to subscribe. We're dropping new videos here every single week. And if you want to start that conversation, you're thinking about buying or selling right here in San Diego, all of our contact info is right below in the description. So feel free to reach out because we got your back when making the move here in San Diego. Now, the first piece of the puzzle is the number of homes for sale. The more homes that come on the market, the more inventory is out there, the more competition between houses as buyers are looking out there, the more it skews towards a buyer's market. But right now we are in a very limited home inventory environment right here in San Diego, sitting just shy of 3,850 as of April. Compare that to last April, we're up about 20%, so sitting about 3,230. But as we go back in this chart, this is going back a few years, you can see we did have a peak right here in July of 2022 when we did see a good amount of inventory growth. And this time right in here, well, not right here, but shortly thereafter, right in this zone here, we did start to see some price relief right here in San Diego, but this inventory level is about double of where we are right now. Now, if we go back to a more normal year, once we get into the 2019, you can see that was like the low point of 2019. In December, we usually see the lowest number of active listings. Obviously, holidays, people take their homes off the market. They don't want to deal with it during those times. As we go back even a little further, just kind of see some trend lines. You can see over 10,000, 9,000, 11,000. We did drop down a little bit in 2018 to just over 7,000, but all these numbers are well above where we are right now. If we go back to where we are right now, sitting at 3,848. And now the good news is we are seeing more homes on the market this year than last year. The number of new listings is up 16.5% compared to 2023. So 2023, right down here, there were 582 new listings this week last year, and now there are 678. So we are skewing in the right direction, but really until this number gets significantly higher into that 7, 8, 9,000 range where we have been in the past, home prices will likely continue to rise here in San Diego. The next reason that home prices are continuing to rise is relocation buyers moving into San Diego. Now, when you're looking at houses, obviously there's not a ton for sale, but if they're moving from somewhere else, from some of the other areas that do have relatively similar price points that we do have here in San Diego, or even above, so like Bay Area price points, some other places on the East Coast, selling their homes out there and then buying homes out here in San Diego. Now, there are some articles you'll see pop up. Will people continue to move away from San Diego County? As there were nearly 31,000 more people left San Diego County than moved here between July 2022 and July 2023. And San Diego is one of the top 10 counties with a negative net domestic migration in 2023. You can see as in 2022, there were 16,000 more people that left the county than came in. And in 2023, that number was closer to 31,000. But even with that said, there are still folks who are moving into San Diego. And here is from Redfin, the areas where most people are searching for homes outside of San Diego. And you can see as we go down, Los Angeles is the #1 place where people are looking at homes down here in San Diego. San Francisco is #2. A surprise, Dallas, Texas at #3. New York at number 4, and then Seattle, Washington at number 5. And on our other channel, we do have a lot of clients who do reach out from all of these places here. I mean, even right now, we're working with clients from up in the Bay Area. We're working with clients from Chicago. We're working with clients not from Dallas, but from different parts of Texas as well, who are moving back to California. So you can see there is still inward migration, and the number of people moving out of San Diego versus the people coming in, it doesn't necessarily offset the home prices. Now, if there was like a huge mass exodus, maybe, but as of now, it still has not affected home prices. And that's one of the clients that we work with the most is relocation clients. And so we can kind of see this as a whole, people who are moving from elsewhere out here to San Diego. And now it's not as heavy of a flow as it was maybe in 2022 and 2023. But we do still have a bunch of clients who are relocating here to San Diego. And just real quick, because this goes on to the topic of buyer demand as well, how many buyers are out there. Now, a portion of them are relocation buyers. A lot of them are locals right here in San Diego who are buying homes as well. But the demand, the buyer pool, while it has softened quite a bit, it is still significant out there. While in years past, we did have 5, 10, 15 offers on a home, it was going for well over list. Right now, we're working with clients and maybe we're seeing 1 to 2 offers on the home. It's going a lot closer to that list price, but the competition is not as aggressive as it was before. They're able to ask for some concessions as far as maybe termite work or some necessary repairs that need to be done. So there is some relief in there for buyers. And here's the population in San Diego. We see it rose, it peaked out right here in about 2018. And since then, we have seen a bit of a decline. So peaking out right about 3.3 million, and now we're sitting about 3.26 million. The third part of the puzzle is the limited amount of new construction right here in San Diego. Now, San Diego as a whole, while the home inventory is low, other parts of the United States where they do have maybe the existing home sales are down a little bit, they have a lot more new construction. So it is putting a little bit of downward pressure on the prices. While right here in San Diego, we don't have a ton of that new construction, while you're going to find obviously some here and there. It's not the bulk of the home inventory that we do have right here in San Diego. So for April 2024, this is for 1-unit structures. It's going to include the total number of building permits for 1-unit structure types. It's single family or a house, and it could be fully detached, semi-detached, row homes, townhomes, etc. So right in April of 2024, there was 311 permits pulled. And as we go back, you can see it tracked up a little bit from 2023 when it peaked down, when it dropped to 148. But going back a little further, in 2017, you had 588. Now you can see it was much higher in the early 2000s before it had a significant drop off in the last housing bust, going down to like 76 in February of 2009. So we're still above those levels. When you compare that to somewhere that does have a bit more new construction, that is seeing more pressure on pricing, is Austin. They have 1,700 homes that have had building permits. You can see they had a lot more during this time too in early 2021. And they have not seen the population dip that we have seen here in San Diego. Now they are about 1 million less than San Diego, but the number of permits being pulled and new construction is much higher. And the fourth piece of this puzzle is the number of investors in the market right now. You would think San Diego, higher price points, there's going to be less home investors out there, less flippers, less just institutional investors as a whole, but that's not the case. Right here in San Diego, as of Q1 2024, about 24% of homes were investor purchases right here in San Diego. Now, I just got an email from a real estate data firm, and this number was closer to 20%, but we were still in the top 10. We were number 4 on the list, number 1 being Oxnard. Number 2 is San Francisco. Number 3, San Jose. And number 4 was San Diego. And a lot of what we've seen right here is when investors are coming in for homes, it's not necessarily for that long-term investment where they're going to maybe rent it out or something like that. A lot of times we're seeing home flips right here in San Diego where they come in, get it at a decent price, put a few $100,000 into it, sell it for a lot more. And so what we're seeing is when they do resell these properties, that's driving the price point up. I'm just thinking right here in North County, San Diego, there's a property investment group that they do the same style. So you can definitely tell when they've been in the houses, what flips are theirs. And they seem to have been all over the place recently. They've had a ton of flips, some on the same block. In 2 instances, I'm thinking they bought homes around $1 million, sold them for around $1.3 million. That was for townhomes right here in Encinitas. And we're seeing more and more of that. So obviously, if they're getting the homes at somewhat of a discount or seems like a more affordable rate, and reselling them at a much higher rate, obviously that's going to keep home prices up as well. So really, until any of these things change, we're going to continue to see home prices rise here in San Diego, while not as aggressive as they had in years past. We have seen that slow significantly and maybe even start to flatten out as we go towards the latter part of the year. But until we start getting some more homes on the market, I think we'll still continue to see that trend. So if you guys are thinking about buying or selling, you want to talk about your specific situation, all of our contact info is right below. We are a real estate crew right here in San Diego, and we got your back when making the move here in San Diego.